What's up, you guys? Jimmy here with another review for Season 4 of The Walking Dead. And this is Episode 2, and it's titled Infected. Pretty much, this episode is the result of what happened in last week's episode, which a kid had gotten sick. He went into the showers, and then he collapsed and became a walker. So, at the beginning of this episode, he's out, and while people are asleep, he's biting a few people, and it carries on, so on and so forth. So, when they're all waking up, they're immediately panicking and having to kill walkers. But not only that, but at the gate, because of the kids feeding the walkers rats, they are pushing on the gate. I mean, the walkers are not animals. They are not animals. If they were animals you never want to be near. And, that was pretty much closest that they've gotten to walkers literally coming inside of the prison. Overall, I would say I enjoyed this episode more than the premiere. Because the premiere, I was expecting some big action. But it didn't. So it was kind of like, oh, they're trying to bring that they finally have peace. You never have peace in a zombie apocalypse. Nothing ever has peace. Maybe short peace in the Resident Evil games, but that's about it on peace. But another thing I really didn't like about this episode is that it showed that Michonne has a heart. I mean, she's one of those characters, you're like, is she crying? And she'd be like, no, I just have dust in my eye. But she is one of my favorite new characters from Season 3. Not my overall favorite character. It's still Daryl, which is like the fan favorite of the series. And she's like my Season 3 favorite because she's such a badass. Not as much as Daryl, but she's still a badass nonetheless. I mean, you're not a badass unless you have a katana or a crossbow. Or in Rick's case, a gun. But he doesn't use guns anymore. But I really did like them showing that she has some kind of heart. And they kind of brought up their own theory on how people were becoming walkers, saying that it's the flu. I mean, there's some things that you would notice from the first episode that would suggest that it was a flu, because there was a pig that was pretty much dead, and then that kid, all of a sudden he was getting sick, and then he went into the showers and died and became a walker. But that kind of brings up something more recent, because it was only just a few years or so when the swine flu was all around the world. So I think if that is it, that is an interesting thing to bring in something more recent from the real world. But me personally, I think it suggests more to tainted water. One being, the pig had to have drank from the water. The plant were like dying in the episode, or not growing as fast. And then that kid, he didn't become a walker until he collapsed while water was coming on him in the shower. So I'm sticking with tainted water. But I want to know what you think it is. Do you think it's the flu? Do you think it's tainted water? Or do you have some new theory for it? Because I'd like to hear if people have other theories. Because I love hearing different opinions on things. That's what I love about people. We all have different opinions on things. And also in the episode, Carl had told Rick about the Carol teaching the kids how to use weapons. And I also want to ask, if you were put into that position, Would you have done the same thing? Me, I probably would have kind of delayed it as much as I could, because in a world like that, and you teaching them how to use weapons is kind of taking away their childhood very fast. So, me personally, I would delay it as much as I could and then teach them. But I also want to know what you would do in that position. And for more videos on Horrorama and other news and reviews on movies, video games, comic books, and more, go to bkbn.net and celebrate your nerd and a horror in a big way. I'm Jimmy. Until next time, bye.